Hey my friends, this is Loli. Welcome to Loli D's Creations. Today's video is part of Just Our Imagination collaboration, and this month's challenge is to create DIYs using a plastic cutting board, a glass jar, and some plastic bottle caps. Here we go with our first inspiration. I'm going to be using 4 of these metal pieces, decor pieces that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and flip them over. And we are going to take one of these cutting boards from Dollar Tree, a pack of this I should say, and we are going to trace out each one of the panels using this. So the first one, I just, butted it together, and here just outlining the form that I need to cut, so I'm able to cut it to the right size. Once I had that first one cut out, I use this one as a stencil to create another one. If you notice there, I just made just enough for 2 for each one of these mats. So if you measure it right, 1 pack will be enough for all 4 of these panels. So here I'm positioning my panels, making sure that the smoother side is towards me. And I'm going to attach each piece of these cutting board mats to each one of the panels using a combination of E6000 and hot glue. The E6000 is for that permanent hold, and the hot glue is for that instant hold. Please be advised that metal and hot glue don't like each other, so that hot glue dries very quickly, so be very careful and work in small sections. Another tip here that I wish I would have known before I started, just make sure that your hot glue is you're pressing it down pretty firmly quickly, because it seems like as soon as that hot glue hits the metal, it dries up and it doesn't have the best contact. So I repeated that with all 4 of these panels. Now we are going to take one of these shadow boxes from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove that hanger off because we're not using it for its intended use. We are going to use it as the vase here. So I removed that tag that was on there and painted it with 2 coats of my Garland Decor paint and primer. Once I dry the whole thing, I put it to the side to dry, but here in the back we are going to be working with it as well. So I'm going to take 4 of these bottled water caps from Bottles of Water and I painted in black with ink from Waverly, and now I'm going to come in with this Krylon gold paint and give them 2 coats. I started with the black, so I had a nice base to print my gold, and this is what it's looking like so far. But I want this to look finished, so I'm going to come in with some more ink from Waverly and give this a full coat to make this nice and finished. And of course, once I was done painting it, I'm going to use my heat gun and dry it up really quickly because I don't got patience for this. So here I'm going to take each one of the bottle caps and I'm gluing them onto the corners here to make little feet using a combination of E6000 and hot glue. And now that it has feet, we're going to turn it over and we're going to be adding the panels to it now. So here, guys, I used a combination of E6000 and hot glue, and I added them to the panels, as you will see here in 1 second. This base was just perfect for these panels. It's like they were made for each other. But here, look, this is what I did. Instead of doing it this way, make sure that you go all the way up to the raised area, like all the height of it. Don't just put it on the bottom of the shadow box over there, so you have better stability. So learn from my mistakes here and add it to the entire section so you have better coverage. Here you can see how it attached pretty wobbly to this. It will be wobbly regardless, but you will get a lot more security if you add hot glue onto the vase and you do it to the entire surface that's going to be touching the panels. I should say a combination of a hot glue and E6000 to the entire raised section of the panels, so you're able to have a more stable piece. So here, for some reason, I continue to do it in the little edges. It seemed like I was scared here that the glue will be seen through the film and it will come out all ugly looking. That was not the case. So here I'm coming back in with some more E6000 and some hot glue to get to that top section of the shadow box and have this be more stable. So just avoid yourself the step and put it on the entire raised section from the get-go. And I repeated the same step for all 4 other panels of these. And I made sure to clean any glue that seeped through after I press it down. Now that all 4 of our panels are on, we're going to stand this up and we're going to find a way to reinforce this. The first thing that I did was take some of this metal wire that I got from metal ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm straightening it out and I'm trying to measure exactly how much will I need to go around this entire piece. Once I knew that amount, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I straightened it out as best as I could, and we are going to paint this. At first I said, you know what, I'm just going to take some of my Krylon gold paint and paint it with a dabber. I tried that, I didn't like the coverage, and it was taking forever. It would have taken multiple coats. So I decided to go with this spray paint from Garland. It took only 1 coat and it came out looking so pretty. Look at that, I love it. So now we are going to go ahead and form this metal ribbon against the top section of the lantern. So I'm going to just bend the corners, and at the same time make sure that the ribbon is flush with the walls of the lantern. And here are the corner. Once I knew, how I wanted to bend it, I'm taking it out and doing a hard 90-degree angle, which will hug the lantern on all 4 corners. It's all free and it means the world to me. So here you go, they are all done. Now we're going to take a little bit of hot glue and add it in the back of each one of the wreaths, and we're going to position it on all 4 sides, 1 on each side. So you see there how I did all 4 of the So I added a combination of E6000 and hot glue to the edges of each one of the panels that are touching each other, as you see there. I did it about a ½ an inch up from the very edge, so those 2 portions will be touching the dowel rod, and this will give the whole piece more stability. And I repeated this process with all 4 sides. Once you're done, clean off any excess glue that have seeped out of the other side of the lantern, and this is what it's looking like so far. And now we're just going to go ahead and fit in that piece of metal ribbon as if it was a glove. Look at that. Here all we're going to do is cut off the excess ribbon using our pliers. These have like little designs on it, so I just kept cutting the small pieces as I went along, like trying to be as straight as possible. And I just use, wire cutters that I used previously to do the same thing. So here, this piece, I cut it completely flush with the end of that panel that is sitting on. And the other piece that is loose on the other side, or I should say on the right-hand side of it, I'm going to instead bend. So here I'm just, once I cut off the excess and I had it positioned on top of the other, I'm going to come in with some gel super glue, and I'm going to just hold that in place until it dried, and I placed it in 4 different sections on each side of the panels. And look how beautiful that is looking so far. While that's set and dry, I'm going to take 4 of these pieces of pines that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to create a little garland. So I just made a circle, and then I tie it at both ends, making sure that they're tight so they don't unravel. And I repeated this 4 times. And then I'm going to give them all a haircut. They make beautiful little wreaths using these. Now that they are all nice and trimmed, I'm going to come in with some of these berries that I got from Hobby Lobby. I am removing the stems off of them and just placing them onto my wreaths. I'm doing in 1 on each opposite side, and then I'm going to come in and place 1 in between those 2 until they're all nice and filled up. First, if you enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. And while you're there, subscribe and hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you each time that I upload a new video. Thank you. All right, so here are the 4 wreaths all completed. So I'm going to add one to each one of the sides of this lantern. Friends, I want to take a quick moment to say thank you for clicking on my video. Thank you for watching. And to my subscribers, guys, I love you dearly. I truly appreciate all the things you do. They truly mean the world to me. Keep those comments coming. And like and share, because sharing is caring. And it helps my channel grow. Alright, so with the last wreath added on, we are almost done, but I'm not done yet. I wanted to remove those little hangers on there, so I used my needle nose pliers and open it up and remove all 4 of those. And added some candles, and this is it. Give me your thoughts. Friends, today's video is part of Just Our Imagination collaboration, hosted by Kathy George DIYs and Rustic and Lace DIYs. And their guest host is Craft Away with me. The links to the channels and to the playlist will be linked in the description box below and also pinned in the comments. Make sure to head on over to these talented creators' channels and to the playlist and show everyone some love. Alright, our second inspiration for today involves our last challenge item, a glass jar. So I'm going to use this pasta sauce jar that I have left over. I am removing all that goo that the sticker left behind. I just added a scraper for that, and then I took it over to my sink and scrubbed it off with some soap and water. And here's nice and dry. Then I took it outside and spray painted it with 2 coats of this Krylon paint and sprinkled some glitter while the paint was still wet. And this is how it turned out. Use extra fine gold glitter. Then I'm taking some of this ribbon from Dollar Tree. It's like a paper ribbon self-adhesive, so I'm just going to add it to the mouth of my jar, as you see right there. Although it's self-adhesive, I am using hot glue to have it mold all the curvatures of the opening. As you see here, guys, I just make sure that the opening, like the very top of the jar, that ribbon covered pretty nicely, so it became pretty much one with the opening. There you go, right there. All right, so now we are going to bring some florals in. I'm going to use an assortment of picks that came from Dollar Tree. I didn't want to cut the picks into individual stems, so I'm just spreading them all out so they will be in different parts of my bouquet. And I did that with all of the picks. I used a total of 4 picks for this arrangement. And all I did was spread them around and put them in the middle, and then play with the placement after they were all together. So I used that white poinsettia, then that flocked berry pick, and then later on I'm going to come in with this fern color as well right here. I love these guys. The more texture, the cuter, and all that sparkle is a no-brainer, right? Look how cute that came out. So here I'm just centering it. I did open it up as best as I could and spread them around, playing with the placement of each one of the flowers. And the bouquet was a little bit too long. I didn't want to put any foam inside, and I didn't want to cut them either. So I'm going to, once I arrange it here, I just keep fluffing it until I was happy with the arrangement of them. Then I'm going to go ahead and take them all up. And those picks were kind of making the flowers float. I wanted them to fall into the vase instead. So first I tried to cut it. I did not have the strength, guys. So I just resigned myself to bend them at the end, as you see right there. And that fixed the problem. So if you ever don't want to cut your stuff, just bend it or call it a day. And look how cute that came out. Let me know what you think. Oh, wait. Look who's here. It's the final reveal. My friends, don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about these, if you plan to recreate them. And here you see some items also that I did in previous videos. I will leave a link above so you're able to check them out if you'd like to do that. My friends, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, be a blessing, and craft responsibly. And if you would like to follow me on social media, here are my social media links. And don't forget to visit my friends in the playlist. If you would like to watch some more of my videos, here's a suggestion, and you are more than welcome to binge away with this playlist as well. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. You're amazing. Bye.